So today we're going to talk about communication. We want to make sure that when we're communicating with people, that we are communicating with our body, with our mouth, the sound, the tone, and facial expression. Those are all very important things in communication. So let's start with facial expression. You know, if you were to walk up to somebody and keep your eyes kind of, we call them the angry eyebrows, hey, I'd like to talk to you about Jesus, it communicates maybe to the person that they're in trouble. And a lot of people already have this view of God that he's mad at them and he's just waiting to destroy them. And so we want to make sure that we don't have a facial expression on our face that would communicate anger or something like that. But we also don't want a blank stare, just, kind of, I'm really scared, So maybe in front of a mirror or with your family, a friend or whoever who maybe is going to go out on the street with you, make sure that you practice maybe smiling, keeping your eyebrows maybe up, not like surprised, like, but in a way that you're communicating, hey, I want to communicate something just absolutely amazing to you. When it comes to body language, we've got to be careful that we're not, like standing closed-armed, maybe as we're listening to somebody, but, it'd be better maybe naturally to put your hand in your pocket or something like that, so that you're communicating, I'm open and I want to listen to what you have to say. Because remember last video, Pastor David talked about listening, and listening is as important as the communication that we're going to do. So make sure that we're communicating with open body language. When you're speaking, maybe try not to shake your fist or point your finger at a person, but to communicate openly. Maybe keep your hands open, palms open, don't point at them, don't make fists, or stuff like that. Whether that person realizes it or not, maybe they are reading your body language and all of that is coming across. And then last is tone. If I go home to my wife and I tell her, she says, oh, honey, I made meatloaf. And I say, oh, honey, meatloaf. It's communicating, I don't really like meatloaf. But if I go, oh, honey, meatloaf, I'm communicating, oh, I love meatloaf. I can't wait to eat meatloaf. I personally don't really like meatloaf, but that's really irregardless. So those things kind of come into play. Now, maybe you've never been out onto a car lot, but I have. And we went one time just to get some free hamburgers, because that's what car lots do, to get you to come out, and maybe look at some vehicles. So you go over there to get a free hamburger, and the car salesman come up and try to sell you a car. And I always feel like, leave me alone, give me my space. If I felt like the car salesman really cared about who I am, it would change maybe how I felt about the salesman, and I might be more inclined to talk to them. But when they come up and it's very obvious, I just am going to do everything. I'm going to pull out every stop to try to sell you this car. And if you don't buy it, I'm out of here. It shows me that they don't really care about me. And so my view of car salesmen sometimes is not very high. Well, look, sometimes people can get that perception of us as Christians. Oh, great, here they come. They're going to try to sell me Jesus, And so we want to make sure that we're not communicating like that. Really take the time to listen. And I said, listening and our body language in our listening is as important as what we're going to say. So listen, and I think it's good that God gave us 2 ears so we could be quick to listen, and 1 mouth so that we could be slow to speak. So you have a message. It's eternal. It's life-changing. But make sure that you communicate it with a smile on your face and a tone of love coming from your heart. I hope that helps, and we'll see you next time.